All right. Frantically clicking and typing, trying to set up all of my recording software to record Game 2 in a series between DarkChiGo and SCDFinesse here on MLG Metalopolis. Game 1, going to DarkChiGo with a hidden Zealot into the base and getting a lot of damage into the mineral line. And that was totally unexpected, as I was trying to keep track of the minimap, trying to see the green, and I could never really spot a Zealot go into the base. But that did in fact happen, and now Finesse had to say GG. So Finesse now down 1-0, I believe, in a best of 3. Let me check. In a best of 3, I believe. So we'll see whether or not he will be able to even up the score. It is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss mirror match once again. One of those mirror matches where, as I said in Game 1, very, very fragile. Things can easily go your way or go against you if you are not ready for it. As now an early probe going to be doing some scouting, and it will be able to come up the ramp and get some decent information. It looks like we will see some early scouting from Finesse as well. The probe now making its way over, and both players will pretty much the probes will pass each other there, and they pretty much already know where the other player has in fact spawned. As the probe now walks up the ramp and now takes a quick look around, it looks like a gateway going to be added over here. A curious position for a gateway. Perhaps he doesn't want any proxy pylons to be able to warp in units onto the high ground here, as the probe just wandering around. And Finesse taking a different strategy. He did not actually go up that ramp at all. He's going to come across, see that he is on the wrong side, and now make his way over here, also making sure that there is no proxy gateways at all. As a proxy gateway on MLG Metalopolis is fairly standard, since you are always going to be in a cross spawn position. That's one of the difference between MLG version versus the BattleNet ladder version. A probe now getting zapped a little bit as well, and now once again running away, just going to continue to wander around in circles, as both players pretty much doing the same build once again. We'll see who's going to be able to execute it a little bit better, as a Cybernetics core now warping in, and both players pretty much doing the same exact build. We should perhaps see some chrono boost being used. No chrono boost being used again. So it looks like it will be a lot of 4-gate timings. This is one of the ways that you can tell if it is going to be a 4-gate or not, by how they save the energy on their Nexus in order to use it on to their Cybernetics core for that faster warp gate research. Now this probe will be backing off, knowing that a Zealot and a Stalker will quickly be coming out, almost up to 75 energy on that Nexus. A chrono boost already underway onto that Cybernetics core, so that Cybernetics core will be able to research that warp gate in about 150 seconds with only one chrono boost, maybe even down to 120 seconds if 4 chrono boosts are applied back to back to back. Stalker now being added as well, and the Stalker is going to have a little bit of a weird walking path in order to get outside of this base. It will walk up over here and then come back down and around, as we are also getting a Zealot and a probe at the Zelnaga Tower, and that is a very, very important location. You can also see Finesse playing much more conservatively this time around, making sure that there are no proxy pylons. He's looking around, making sure that he's not going to have to deal with a lot of units inside his base. We are getting those additional gateways that I mentioned, so DarkChiGo, who was successful with that 4-gate research the first time, looking to do it again. We are going to be getting some sentries. It is going to be a 3-gate counter. There is also an assimilator. The assimilator has 4 harvesters on gas as opposed to 3. So Finesse wasting one of his probes there, not harvesting minerals, as the harvester count currently 22 to 22. But Finesse having an additional probe on gas and also having an additional gas up means that he will have a lot less minerals, as it looks like it will be Stalkers with Blink in the upcoming battle. So Blink Stalkers against 4-gate. Will Finesse be able to fend off this attack? Very difficult to say, as the army is already building up already for SCDFinesse having 3 Stalkers down over here. Another round of warp in may be coming in just a moment. Another Stalker being added over here as well. We can see there is only 1 sentry in this group, and Finesse has to be very careful. He needs to get a sentry down. He does have 1 sentry, and this one pylon here, is it spotted? Yes, Finesse does spot it, but I don't know why he's not destroying it just quite yet. Yeah, now gonna just shut down that pylon It looks like it will get destroyed. It was not canceled in time. And another pylon over here as well. And that will get also destroyed. In comes a Zealot. There's the force field. As that's... Oh, the sentry needs to back off. It cannot afford to sit there. As a second sentry needs to be added into this group as well. Another stalker going to finish off that pylon there. And now both sides engaging. It looks like that pylon will get destroyed. And Chigo, or Finesse, doing a good job of just stopping this aggression here. And these pylons are just freebies constantly as the stalkers are up on that high ground. And I believe Finesse will be able to easily handle this as he is also getting Blink. So stalkers with Blink will always win in a battle with proper micro, as the Zealots are now going to be trying to engage, or the Zealots are going to try to engage, reveal some sight, and now being forced to back off once again as the Blink research about to be completed. We are getting more probes by Finesse, so his harvester count is going up now. Both sides sitting at 23. We are going into a weapons upgrade for the Forge in just a moment, as the stalkers are now going to move at the speed of light. So once again, continuing to battle it out. DarkChiGo not changing his strategy at all, and now able to blink back. Very, very nicely done, dodging that tactic. And oh, the sentry needs to back off. That's going to be a free sentry in just a moment. There it is. Down it goes, but the pylon has been destroyed, as the stalkers may be able to blink and catch up to that Zealot. So trying to chase that Zealot there. I'm not quite sure why Finesse isn't actually blinking for that free Zealot. Yeah, able to catch up and now destroy it. It looks like the stalkers are going to be able to get even more damage here, as the army of Finesse is slightly larger, just ever so slightly. Now once again blinking in, getting more damage onto those stalkers. These stalkers need to back off, and oh, getting off, taking a round of attack there. Now, more units will be coming in. I don't see an observer. Not quite sure what Finesse is doing here, as more damage being dealt. Finesse getting lucky that his low hit point stalker did not take that damage. And this probe, not quite sure what Finesse is doing with that probe either. That was a little bit of an issue, as both players are now sitting on one base play. These stalkers blinking back up onto that high ground, as the Zealots were able to make their way in, just pushing in and getting some more damage. You can see more Zealots warping in on the low ground. Taking a look at the workers killed, 9 workers killed. So Finesse is significantly behind now, sitting on 20 probes, as he moved out without having much of any defense at all. We are also going into a Dark Shrine by DarkChiGo. So Chigo moving into Dark Templars, and without a robotics facility, that's going to be a problem. But Finesse also getting up a Dark Shrine as well. So it will now be all about the Dark Templar play, except for DarkChiGo does have his Forge, or I believe his second Forge now. Or did he cancel a Forge earlier? It looks like he canceled a Forge, but DarkChiGo also has maximum energy on his Nexus. That's something that you never ever want to have. Meanwhile, back over here, it looks like Finesse is using up his energy a little bit better. Another Zealot getting destroyed, but no real detectors at all. Finesse going to be in a world of hurt unless he is able to do something about it. A proxy Nexus built over here, so Chigo actually scouted it out. And now it looks like this probe going to try to go after this one. Is he actually going to battle against that probe? No, canceling that Nexus instead, causing a pylon to be warped in over there. Now, this is going to be a bit of a reprieve on both sides. The Nexus now being added down over here instead, still with no robotics facility and no Forge. I can't imagine this going well for Finesse at all. Dark Templars are now being added. The Dark Templars are going to be able to slice their way through here, and that may just be an instantaneous GG, as the Dark Templar now just going after Zealot, taking them down. And now a Forge finally coming into play. The Forge does take a bit of time to build, though, and yeah, Finesse is in a bit of an issue there. The Forge now getting canceled, and there is the leave. So DarkChiGo defeating Finesse here on Metalopolis 2-0.